Hello everyone, we'll start our new series which is nothing but Node.js. So before starting with our Node.js, ever wondered how your favorite websites like Amazon, Flipkart, Instagram, YouTube, etc. handle millions of users without even crashing the app? The secret sauce behind this is nothing but Node.js. So what is Node.js? Node.js is nothing but it's an open source cross-platform JavaScript engine that is built on Chrome's V8 engine, which lets you to run the JavaScript code outside the browser. So open source in a sense, it is open to everyone. You can and anybody can learn this and implement these things. Cross-platform stands for you can write the JavaScript code in the Linux and you can run on the Windows. And similarly, you can write the same JavaScript code in the Windows and you can write on my MacBook, etc. So some of the key points of this Node.js is this is built using C++ and JavaScript, and this was built by Randall in 2009, and now it is maintained using the by OpenJS Foundation. So think of Node.js is like a magic engine that lets JavaScript drive not just the browser but also as a server room. So mostly we prefer Node.js for building backend servers. So these are some resources. You can go through this as well. So why Node.js? Why Node.js provides us some features like asynchronous programming, non-blocking IO model, single programming language for both front-end and back-end, and massive ecosystem. So asynchronous programming and non-blocking IO. These handles thousands of connections without threads. What are these threads and how this is managed? We'll go through the each and everything in our upcoming videos. And it uses event-driven architecture. If you are familiar with JavaScript while learning front-end, you will be having a good idea once I speak on this event-driven architecture as well, and single programming language for front-end and back-end. If you are good at front-end, you must be familiar with the JavaScript, right? So see, we are going to use that same JavaScript in back-end as well now in the form of Node.js. What we'll be doing is we'll be using the JavaScript for both front-end and back-end, which makes our full stack applications easier to build. And massive ecosystem. Massive ecosystem here typically what stands is you can access over 1 million packages via NPM, which is nothing but Node Package Manager. If I speak quite a bit more on this, just simply go to this your favorite browser and type for NPM. So if you see, this is the NPM repository. NPM repository, what here it contains is like in our application, we want some other developer code to integrate in our application. Like I want some typewriting effect. So what I'll do is I'll just simply copy this command and paste in my application, like run in the terminal of my application. Whatever the typewriting effect provided from other developer will be used in my application as well. So in a similar format, we have n number of packages inside this npm repository. So what this line stands is access over 1 million packages. So we can have the similar packages like typewriting or some animations, etc. Everything we can find that things in that repository. We can easily integrate them in our application as well. So these are some resources you can go through this go through this as well. So where do we use Node.js? Big tech companies like Netflix, PayPal, LinkedIn, Uber, Walmart uses the Node.js as their backend, and it is ideal for building REST APIs, real-time applications, streaming services, and microservices. You can go through this case study as well. We can build web servers, APIs, command line tools, chat applications, task runners, file uploaders, bots, and even some AI integrations as well. To install this Node.js, again open the browser and type node download Node.js downloader, node, anything works, and simply go to this website. Here you can see that package managers. You can choose the device if you want and just simply click on download. It will download and open that thing. Just simply click on next. It will be installed in our computer. So once installation is done, use the command node-v to check the version of Node.js installed in our laptop. And similarly, you can once you install the Node.js, Node.js comes with npm, which is nothing but Node Package Manager. Using this command, you can check the npm version as well. So let me go to terminal now. Here, if I see, let me enter the first command here, node-v. Here you can see that the Node version which is installed in my laptop is 24. And as I said, Node additionally comes with npm as well. So npm hyphen gives me the Node Package Manager version. So what's the key role of this npm is, as I mentioned, here you can see the same command npm. I stands for install and type rating. This is the package name provided by other developer. So to install this in my local system, what I need is npm. npm is provided by this Node.js only by default. So I can simply use the command npm install the package name, and I can use that in my application as well. So we'll go through a simple program now. Let me open this thing. Now, after seeing the Node version and npm version, let's create a simple file called, you can create the file from here as well, but I am going to create using terminal only. So touch command creates a file here, and inside this, let me write a statement called console.log hello world. And now in order to run this file, I need to run the command node, the file name. What is the file name? app.js. See, here you can see that my Node.js is installing the JavaScript code outside the browser. I'm not even inside the browser. I am completely outside the browser and trying to execute my JavaScript. It's executing successfully as well. So this is the functionality provided by our Node.js. As we have seen, we have entered some console log, then we have returned this thing. Ignore this thing. This is related to server. We'll go deep about this when we create servers using the HTTP package. So some pros and cons of Node.js is this this is fast and lightweighted and large developer community and a full stack JavaScript based application we can create using Node.js because we are using the JavaScript in front end and back end as well. Some yes, so we'll go through every cons one by one in detail in our upcoming videos. So these are some difference between browser JavaScript and Node.js. So let's go through one by one. Environment. As Node.js is used in backend, so it's server side. Browser JavaScript client side, which is used in browsers only. Use case. The Node.js is, as we have discussed, we can create APIs and similarly uh, perform some file operations and connect to DBs, databases as well to perform CRUD operations, and we can build backend applications. Browser JavaScript, which is nothing but we can this is more used on UI like front end side and can be used for DOM manipulation as well. DOM stands for document object model. If you are good at front end, you must be familiar with this DOM manipulation terms as well. So access to DOM, as we are dealing with backend, so we don't have any access to the DOM. And browser JavaScript will provide full access to the DOM. So if I want to discuss more on this, DOM is nothing but inspect, and then if I go to console log, see this entire thing, whatever the things, actions, and the local storage, session storage, and entire thing, we have access in only browser JavaScript, not in backend. And additional feature which Node.js provides is we have file system and OS access in backend. Like as we have seen, this is Node.js is built using C++ and Chrome's V8 engine, right? In C++, we have functionality for create, read, and update the file system as well. So that file C++ functionality is integrated, like it's also added in JavaScript, right? So similarly, now using Node.js, we have access to the file system operations, file system OS and path and some other libraries as well. And when it's coming to browser JavaScript, we don't have this kind of access due to the security reasons. Global object is global, and here window. Window is nothing but if you go here as we have console of this. See here you can see that if I type window, we have access to complete this thing. But in backend part, we have global object as well, similar to window, but here we don't have access to the local system or session storage, local storage, etc. So modules. In backend, we have two kinds of modules, which is common JS and ES module JS. These are imported using the keyword called required, and these are imported using the keyword called import. So front end will use only import, then APIs. Node.js built-in APIs like FS HTTP path uses here, and we use from browser perspective, like browser JavaScript, we have web APIs like fetch, local storage, document, etc. So threading, multi-threading uses single-threaded event loop. Here we have worker threads to manage our tasks, like parallel tasks, which are the tasks which takes more time. And coming to browser JavaScript, single-threaded with event loop. Web workers for parallelism. So execution engine is Node.js, as we have been discussing since the starting of our video. It's using the Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine. And browser, different browsers have different execution engine. For Chrome, it uses V8, and for Firefox, it uses SpiderMonkey, and for Safari browser, it uses JavaScript code. So Node Package Manager, NPM. Package Manager used in the Node.js is NPM. NPM stands for Node Package Manager. This NPM is nothing but the repository, the where we are getting the code written by some other developer, right? That thing. So we don't have any package manager on the front end, which is nothing but browser JavaScript, but it can use the bundlers like Webpack. So security for front end, it is sandboxed by default, but backend, when it coming to backend, the developer should manually handle the security issues like providing the authentication and authorization and verification of the tokens, etc. So real-time applications built using this Node.js are chat, games, etc. Limited support, like most of the applications we don't have front end, I guess. Like ignoring backend part, we can build using the JavaScript only. But it basically requires backend as well. So it requires backend like Node.js. So what we'll discuss in our upcoming videos is nothing but how Node.js handles the request, like event loop, and Express.js framework as well, building the REST APIs using this Express.js, which is famous, and we'll be connecting with our database and perform CRUD operations as well. We'll go through some authentication and authorization, or the difference between authentication and authorization, how tokens are created, how tokens are validated, and uh, routing based upon this token verification, etc. We'll build a real world project as well in detail, I'll let you know what project we'll be building. Yes, so that's it. Now you have understood what is Node.js, right, and why it's powerful, and now you can start building with it. Subscribe for hands-on tutorial and full stack projects coming next. Thank you.